Today I'm going to start on my project of rebuilding the lower control arms on my 2006 Toyota Tacoma second gen. It's a four-wheel drive V6. The symptoms I'm having are it does not hold alignment, and the main reason for that is you can see there that my stock alignment tabs, they kept folding over, and we kind of patched it up with a beetle weld. But that's just becoming more of a temporary fix as I drive it and off-road more on it. So I'm actually going to be installing the Total Chaos Camber caster alignment tabs that they make. It's about $100 for the set. But basically we're going to be grinding that completely off and welding the new ones on there, and it's just a much beefier, solid setup. And while I do that, the last time I was in to get it aligned, the alignment guys said that the bushings were shot, so I'm going to go ahead and replace those with some polyurethane bushings, and as well as do the ball joint while it's off. So we're going to start out by popping the this end of the lower control arm out and undo these two guys right here and here, and then the lower ball joint nut. It's got a little cotter pin there, and then we'll roll. We'll move out here and we'll undo the lower shock mount, and then eventually after that we'll hit the lower control arm. The alignment bolts. There's a front here and a back over there. They did PB blast this stuff a couple days ago, so and I have not tested to see how hard it is to get off, so hopefully it'll come off without too much trouble. Nut and a washer on the back side here. There's the nut. Washer. And there's the bolt. So now we have essentially this entire part, this entire half of the control arm loose. The only thing that's holding it are the alignment bolts. These will probably be the hardest part. A lot of people who might be doing this job, these bolts are actually frozen in there. I had to replace mine completely, cut them out and replace them a couple years ago because they were frozen. Something Toyota does is they don't lube the bolts as they put them in, so almost every single Toyota owner ends up with this problem. But fortunately mine have been adjusted fairly regularly. So I'm hoping it's not going to be too bad. And it is stuck. Ended up needing a 4-foot breaker bar for that. And there's one. That was much easier.
So we're gonna do.
Hey babe.
What?
Remember what I said? How I was gonna record this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello, YouTube.
There you have it. So now I'm going to start getting ready for these new Total Chaos Camber caster tabs here. I got to grind the old ones off here. Basically, the first step that I'm going to be doing is going to be one that you probably won't have to, but I got to grind these old welds off that were supporting the tabs, and then I'll proceed to drill these 3 holes out. They just got little tack welds on them, and then once those 3 are loose and then the tabs are free, you can beat the rest of the tab off. Start beat welding a little bit now. Just like that. It's definitely a patience tester, and we'll clean all this stuff up. But the idea is to go drill through just the weld and not hit the actual frame of the truck there, which I think I did a fairly good job at it, but we'll find out once we grind it down flat. But basically do that 4 times, 1, 2, 3, and then one more back there. But like I said, most of you guys won't have this issue with the side welds, which were arguably the hardest part here. So now that we got all the tabs off, we're gonna start grinding this surface down to be a nice flat, hopefully weldable surface, and then we'll go ahead and throw the Total Chaos tabs on. Now this is kind of an optional part, but if you want it to look nice and pretty for the weld, I would recommend taking just a 40 or 60 grit sanding disc to it. And I kind of need it to be able to get into this tight spot up here, so, but I'll make them all look pretty good. So next you're going to take the welded gussets and do kind of what I did here. I got a clamp on either side here, just clamping them in place here. You want to get it as close to concentric on the old frame mount as possible. It's not too hard. Some people I know have issues with the gusset hitting the frame up here. I didn't have the issue this time, so I didn't have to do any grinding on my gussets. But it went pretty smoothly. But you can see I did it in all of them. This one was a little more crooked than the other one, so I threw an extra C-clamp on it. But that's what the backside looks like.
You gotta trigger weld a lot of this stuff because it's just so thin.
So
you'll burn through otherwise.
I put the paint on kind of thick up top so that it would run in between the two tabs, in between the tab and the frame. That way we could get, it would keep it from rusting. And then obviously paint all bare metal. And yeah, after this, the only thing you need to do is reassemble. You might have to bend the tabs out just a little, just to make sure your lower control arm goes in there. But it shouldn't be too much of an issue. And then just reassemble the same way you took it apart. And that's it.